Okay, go live. Press the live. I think we're live. Oh no, I can hear my own stream. That is not good. That's never good. Oh, I should get my camera out. Forgot about that.
I'm back.
You're back, and we're live, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh, we're live?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I can't talk about the super duper.
The super duper. No.
Man, that was a quick 2 minutes.
Webcam is good. I didn't really set up any lights here. This was so rushed today. Concentrate.
Last minute streams. Let's go.
Last minute streams. Yeah. Today I have my Portal 2 Community Edition T-shirt. I didn't even think about it. I just picked it up because it was the top of my shelf. I don't have a Revolution shirt. I only have a P2C shirt, but I'm getting one this Christmas. I already have that on my wish list. Not as many as last time, but that's to be expected. Because the thing is, people watch the trailer, but most people never look further. Alright. It doesn't have merch. This is I printed this myself. I ordered this.
Revolution merch when?
Yeah, I thought about that. Stuff like that. I love how on YouTube in the chat, on my chat preview, there's just this heart icon on the top right to react, and it just always covers the messages.
Oh yeah, mine's in the bottom right though, and it's super annoying.
Yeah, bottom right for me as well. It's so dumb. It covers the messages.
I want to send a heart, a smiley face, a tada, a plot, and a 100. I want to have those on quick react.
Oh, did my chat just disappear? There was a question I didn't see. Okay. Should we get some music on? I don't know what. I don't have a library of free music. I guess I can put Portal 2 stuff on. Let's have the celebratory one. This is so unprepared, guys. Because my parents surprised me with gifts. I got a bottle of. I guess it's how do I say it in English? It's like a pear spirit bottle. I like pear alcohol. Robots for the win. Maybe not. maybe you know what? Let's have it on. We did it! Okay, I don't want this one. Science is fun. I'm not gonna show Portal Revolution music. Okay. So let me just reorder these windows. So how's everyone doing? You guys enjoying? TIFF2 music. I read in a minute. I just. Which is the fun one? How long the gameplay will be? Well, I mean, you can see that on Steam page, but the span is really big, you know. We had one playtest to beat it in 2 hours. I don't know how you manage that. It's yeah. If you're really good at Portal and you just speed through everything and don't look at anything, and just basically almost speed run, you can finish it quickly. That's not how most people play it. When my dad played this like a year ago, it's an early version. He took 6 hours to get not even halfway through, and he didn't struggle that much. He had to think a bit in some puzzles, but that just adds up so much because we have so many puzzles. I think I always forget how many puzzles we have, right? Because I think Mel, I always compare this mod to Mel because that is what inspired me, right? Like whenever I'm comparing, I'm just putting it into relation, not really criticizing, because some people think I criticize it for that. But Mel has like 25 puzzles, I think they advertise in the trailer at least, and we've got over 40. 40 is a number that we've put everywhere because that's like the minimum. We have more puzzles. It's just difficult to say where does a puzzle start, where does it end. You'll know what I mean when you play our mod, where they're like linked and yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. So if for each puzzle you take 10-20% longer, that just adds up in hours. So it's pretty long run time. I'd say 10 hours. 7 hours, something like that would be realistic for most people. I just answered that in Bean. Yeah, when we played, like this, even when we played, it takes us a long time, like 2 hours or so, when we speed through it.
It's been a while since I actually played it start to finish. I should do that and time it.
Me as well. I started it on the Steam Deck and I got a third of the way through, and then I wrote notes on my phone and were like bugs to the stuff that I want to improve. And then I stood up and was like, no, I'm gonna fix it now. I'm not gonna play through it. I'm gonna fix it now. Ace is quiet. That's true. I'm put him up. Or her up, sorry. I always forget.
Oh, I love it when the game crashes for no reason.
Game crash, that's nice.
Yeah.
I have dry lips again. I think Sarah is gonna join us maybe soon. She said she'd be free in a minute. At some point maybe. Will is online on Discord, but he's almost always online for some reason. Yeah, 1 million views. I didn't think that we'd get 1 million views in the first place. I didn't we joked about, oh, now we're waiting for 100k. We didn't think we'd get it, at least not this quickly. That's the crazy thing, right? Like, okay, yeah, in like 10 years you can accumulate views, but in a week, I could open up Minecraft. I'm not gonna open up Portal Revolution for obvious reasons. I could stream Minecraft if people want a better thing to look at than just this. I'm building a crazy world. And I also kind of want to see if it lags. Game crashes randomly for Chico. He's playing on Proton. I've not tested that yet. No, not Proton. Just on Linux. It runs natively after all. The beta. The thing with that, Trico, I thought about that, but if I show the beta maps, people take that out of context to think it's the real game. That's what I don't want. I'd have to put a big disclaimer on screen at all times. You've seen how much disinformation there already is about this game. That's the thing I kind of want to maybe talk about when there are no questions.
Yeah, I think if we want to show the beta maps, it'd have to be after the game's out.
Yeah, we should show it afterwards. Otherwise, people get a wrong idea of what the game is. Even if you know it's beta, it's not a good look to show like to show the shitty version of your mod instead of the good version of the mod. Yeah, the game runs on Steam Deck. Best looking Portal 2 mod, I think. Yeah, I mean, I would honestly be surprised if it wasn't, because we've spent. I mean, we're always trying to be humble, but with the amount of time and years we've spent on polishing the visuals and pushing the engine to its absolute limits while still keeping it optimized, I would be disappointed if it didn't look the way it does. You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. I think it looks pretty good. Talking about that, if you guys think the mod looks good right now, I don't think Rory is here right now, but Rory, some of you maybe not know what he does. He's been programming a really, really cool graphics feature that is now like in its working first sort of release candidate beta sort of thing, where it's pretty much bug free. It just needs one more like addition to fix some of the artifacts. We're not gonna really reveal what it is yet, but
let's spoil the surprise.
We're not spoiling the surprise right now. We want to prepare a proper showcase. But yeah, we've got another graphics feature coming up that we're now going to have to retrofit existing maps to include this. But I'm really excited about that. That is an amazing feature. I think we've talked and waited about like for this for like 2 years. Yeah, we couldn't have it in the trailer so far because it wasn't done. Remake maps. I mean, look, in our beta, like when I started this mod, it took like 3 years until we got to a like where it just scrapped stuff and did it all over again and just scrapped it, started from new, scrapped it, started from new, until we arrived at a version of the game that is remotely sort of what it is now, right? I usually always say, yeah, I started in 2016, but the game as it is currently has only really started in like 2019, and that doesn't mean that I didn't do anything before. It's just the version of the game that somewhat resembles the current one. Like the earliest maps that we have that are still in the game are from 2018, and then I did a big like story changes and everything was changed and everything was overhauled. We completely threw away our overgrown chapter once we got Portal 2 source code access, because now we had real-time cascaded shadow map sunlighting, which just opened up so many possibilities, and we had to redesign all of our sunlight like maps for that. Yeah, so there was a lot of reworking. There was something that War said about the red logo. The message was, a long time ago I used to think this mod should have a different logo, but honestly the red dark aperture logo is super cool. Yeah, I mean, that logo wasn't even meant... It was just meant as like an icon for the game, right? Not something that we should like print on a t-shirt or like present in a big way. Then I used it as the Discord server icon because I didn't have anything better. Yeah, people always gave me shit for how uncreative the logos are. The thing that with the logos, I just try to make it look like Portal, because there are so many mods where the logo looks so different from Portal that you can't even tell it's Portal, right? I think that's kind of why Portal Revolution fooled so many people into thinking it's Portal 3. or like it's like made by Valve, it's because it's just so many other models or community maps, they are a bit more experimental with the styles, but we're pretty traditional. Simplicity fits Revo perfectly. I think it also, I think it fits the. I mean, look, our like proper like landscape logo that we have on Steam and stuff, and on YouTube and everywhere. I like that one pretty a lot. Although that one was also like, is it too just too simple? But my point was, it should be easy. Like, most people aren't in the Portal modding community, right? They don't know what this is. I just wanted to make it for anyone who knows Portal, just immediately read as Portal. And the red like theme that we now have also helped in like that whole red theme is now the a Revolution like brand color, I was very hesitant on the red at first, but I really like it. Yeah, to me it's just important that for outsiders who aren't, who don't know this stuff well, it just immediately reads as Portal. Yeah, it doesn't come to PS1 though. Could use Hammer to create custom maps. Guess what we use? I always find it, I mean, it doesn't happen now. I've not seen a single comment, but I always find it funny when I told people when I started this and stuff, hey, I'm making like a mod for Portal 2, and they think I'm using the in-game puzzle maker. And I'm like, what? That's funny. That's a very limited tool. Yeah, the Cascade Shadow maps. I think I thought about making a video where I always like the idea of making like sort of source engine demystifying sort of tutorial sort of videos that are a bit more high edited. I just don't have time for that. But yeah, Cascade Shadow maps are amazing. They work so the thing with shadow maps, right, is you basically take a texture. So let's say like this is your texture, right, and this is, textures are usually square. So this is your texture, right, and this is just like white, and you project that onto the world. So you can use that for projectors, for anything. I really like using it for projectors, and these are real time and can be shadow casting. The thing with that is the resolution is limited. So this is I think in Portal 2 it's 1024 pixels, or it's 2048 pixels across. I don't know. I've seen both values before, but I forgot whether it doubles it for some reason. It also depends on what your graphic settings are. But yeah, their resolution is limited. So if you put this like on my face, you've got really high resolution shadows on my face. If you stretch this across a town, then one single pixel is gonna cover like one building, so it's gonna look really terrible. What Cascaded Shadow Maps do is you don't have one, you have, in Portal 2 you have 3, and one for the view model, that are different distances. One is like, close to your face. The other one is like room, like the scale of my room. And then the other one is the scale of like the house. And they follow you around, so they always look at where the players or where the camera is. so you've always got really high resolution shadow close to you. In Portal 2, they're also orthographic. So basically, just the lighting is parallel as it is with sunlight. Like sunlight is just parallel, whereas like a flashlight like diverges, which is why when you play Portal 2, in Portal 2 you use projected textures, which are divergent, so the sunlight looks fake. It doesn't look like real sunlight because it diverges, which sunlight doesn't do. Most people never notice that. Once I've noticed it, I could never unsee it again. It's not that obvious in Portal 2. Hallo, ich bin gerade live. So, pass auf. Was?
Ich muss was drucken.
Was musst du drucken? Okay. Ich schalte die Kamera aus. We have to wait for a bit. My sister walked in.
Sorry. Warte, jetzt kriege ich gerade gar nichts hin, Stefan.
Funktioniert das nicht?
Warte.
So yeah, cascade shadow maps are really great for outdoors environments, because the issue with projected textures is because they're limited resolution. They look terrible when you have a big environment, but with cascade shadow maps, they follow you around, so you've always got high resolution shadows near you, and it's parallel. It is just perfect for outdoors environments. However, you also have to have a bigger like hole in your sky, right? In Portal, we usually like you look up in, and the sky is very far away, but that means that barely any sunlight comes down. So we had to change our ceiling destruction to be much more open. How many objects are in Portal Revolution? Ace, how do we answer that?
A lot. That one map is very has warning saying that it's very full of ent data.
Machst du zu? Okay. Objects. Oh, I don't know how you define object. Like entities, because we've got many invisible entities for, that's just like open doors and stuff like that. Or like physics props.
And stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how to parse that question. How many polygons? A lot. If you just mean like custom models, we've got a lot of custom stuff. I always forget how custom everything is, because it looks so close. We don't really reinvent the style. We just stick to Portal 2 as close as we can. Of course, with like introducing new graphical options like cascade shadow maps, and so we have more open and bigger overgrown environments, and like the whole red after hours stuff, and yeah, so but yeah, I always forget about how custom it really is. But then I open my Portal 2 and it's like, oh yeah, right, like this limitation of this prop we fixed in like some point. It's the full version of the trailer song. Oh, you mean like a raw version with all of the turrets screaming and stuff?
Yeah,
my lips are
like the trailer song.
Yeah, I actually got a message by somebody who offered to make the soundtrack for the game, and I'm like, we're already done. You're like a year too late, but or a few years late. Then he said, yeah, I didn't like the trailer song, so I offered to make a new one. I'm like, yeah, okay, sorry. We like it. Yeah, that's the thing with tastes, right? I'm actually seeing less and less comments about people not liking the voices. I felt like that was a big chunk when a trailer was like first released. Maybe it was just because I like they affected me more, so I thought that there were more. I don't know, or it's actually just been like people that don't like the voices at the start were like a lot of them, and now there are less of them. But yeah, I thought that might be a big controversy, but I guess not. Most people really like the voices. I really like the characters already. I mean, there's already fan art. I'm actually really blown away by this launch of this trailer, because my fucking god, people made fan art for it, and there's already misinformation spread around. No, we didn't get hired by Valve. That would be cool. But it's just not true. It's really strange reading. I've never read fake news about myself before. Yeah, see, I also don't see an issue with the voices. The thing with the voices is we're just risky, right? We casted a lot of voice actors. We had a lot of auditions. And I always just prefer the ones that stick out, that are a bit more unique, that have some personality to them, rather than people that just sound like ourselves, that are just like a more safe option, I guess, who just sounds like the average college student. Those voices probably work better for most other products, but for something as stylized and like comedy centric as Portal, I wanted something really unique, and I really like our characters, and those voice actors are fantastic. They're so lovely to work with.
Yeah,
they're just great, and they've completely changed the characters, right? I mean, we adapted the characters to match the voice actors, not the other way around, like not forcing the voice actors into this role that I just came up with, but rather looking for opportunities and then adapting it, because that's just always it also feels just more authentic, because it's more based on a real person, on a real personality. It doesn't feel like I just came up with it, right? Because I didn't. It is more like capturing someone for real. I mean, of course, there are still characters, but yeah, that's been crazy. The lore compatible with Mel. Yeah, so my lips are always so dry I should get water, but when I do that I always have to go on a toilet break really quick. Most good characters are created with a voice in mind, for sure. But even then, sometimes there's just a facet that surprises you, and you think, oh, that's so good. I need to put this somewhere now. So many things. So I mean, the character of the Blue Core, that we've not revealed the name to yet, I didn't know what her character would be, what her personality would be. I didn't know anything, and then we casted Sarah, and she was just fantastic, and we just entirely adapted her to Sarah, basically.
And for reasons you'll find out, she was the perfect voice actor.
She's perfect. Both are great. Honestly, both are great. Both are perfect. When I listen back to the other auditions, I'm like, it's such an obvious choice.
I remember I went back to look at old when we were initially picking a voice actor for Sterling. I went back and I read old messages I wrote about me reviewing each of the applicants, and it was just like I could tell we liked Will.
It's obvious, right?
The one addition we both liked.
Yeah,
it just fit him.
With the others, it's like I guess it's the best generic, out of all of them, but I'm not feeling the character. It's just so bland. And because those are more realistic options, but Portal 2 is cartoonish as fuck. I mean, Portal Revolution is a bit more dark and realistic, and closer to Portal 2's dark, grim, sort of darker style than something like Mel. But it's still a comedy at its core. So to actually answer the question about Mel, Yeah. So we don't limit ourselves, but like we don't assume that everything is like one shared universe, right? I feel like it's better if all of the mods are just on their own. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. But we didn't want to do that. Uh, so yeah, we don't really like. That it isn't really.
We don't limit ourselves to what Portal Stories Mel told, and we'll try to limit ourselves to necessarily the canon told by other mods and
Yeah.
or the stories themselves. But if you are genuinely curious, then both do exist alongside, and
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
interfere with each other.
So we don't. Yeah, we don't assume we don't develop it in a way that both must exist next to each other. Like they don't play up like on top of each other, right? But they both work perfectly next to each other. They don't interfere with each other. So if you want to believe that both are in the same universe, if that's your headcanon, which is fine, it's probably even my headcanon, then it works 100%. I don't see any inconsistencies right now. We designed this story to be completely canonical, right? It fits into the canon. Of course, we don't. It's not officially canon. Also, hi Fabian. It's not officially canon, right? It's not a Valve game, but it fits into the canon, just like Mel does. And we don't step on Mel's toes, and Mel doesn't step on our toes. So it's compatible, but we don't. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Like it's not the same universe, but they're compatible if you want them to be. Wheatley's character was great with Steve Merchant. Yeah, the thing is, when you have a budget to hire a popular, like a celebrity, then yeah. GLaDOS wasn't built around Ellen McLean. They just sort of had her. That was also probably they just knew Ellen McLean and then thought, hey, that's a perfect fit, and they recorded and they got new ideas. For us, indie no budget developers, we can't really, unless we already know someone, you can't really do that because you don't know how who is gonna be able to offer the voice to you for free. Yeah, which is something that I also, when people say that like if it was true that, because we are amateurs, right? None of us do this professionally, so it's our first game. We're just doing this for fun. But yeah, when people like say the voice sounds amateurish, first of all, it's true because we are amateurs. I don't think it does, but it is true that we are all just amateurs. And also, they should know that we're just amateurs, right? It's a Portal mod. Yeah. Most people seem to be like completely blown away by what we've done, but yeah, some seem to not realize that it's a no budget thing. The thing with Mel isn't like a grand scale thing. It doesn't really do too much, right? And we play in the same time period, but that time period is infinitely long in my book. We don't know how long it is, so anything can happen, which is why I picked it as where the story should take place. Some people say that it's a bit it's a derivative of Mel and stuff. And we've seen this before. Can we just have another period? I can see that it's true. And yeah, it is just because I was inspired by Mel and thought I could make that. Then started my own mod. It's also really easy to develop for, right? Because you know what the story is, so you can just tell your own thing without stepping on anything. If you make a sequel, then you've really got to think about stuff much more thoroughly. Also, if you make a sequel, people will take it as a real Portal 3. Which you don't want as a modder. You don't want to like basically tell Valve what it really like. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable making like an actual sequel. Prequel has been done by Preload, by Prelude, and at the time, 2016, I didn't like. It's impossible to have Portal 2 humans in Portal 2 engine. So yeah, this era of the story is the easiest for modders to insert their own stories to, because it's just so ambiguous and you can do anything. The custom menu screen. Also, hi, Demon. Yeah, thank you a lot. It's crazy. I didn't think we'd overtake Mel's trailer.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool.
Especially this quickly.
I remember thinking, it'd be cool if we overtook Mel's trailer, but that's been up for like 8 years and has 900,000 views. It's probably never going to happen.
That's the crazy thing, right? It's been out for 8 years and we passed it in 8 days. And I just wonder how much it's gonna grow now. Still, whether we're gonna hit 2 million in another week. I don't think so. I don't know.
I'd be very, very surprised if we hit 2 million.
This quickly, yeah. Yeah, so the custom menu screen, we use Panorama UI, which is from Source 2. Valve made it for Source 2, and they ported it back in CSGO. And we have the CSGO code, so we also have the Panorama code. So that is completely programmed custom. The UI is, I programmed that with Panorama. Panorama is basically like a web tech. Like you've got the V8 JavaScript engine, you've got XML documents for layer, you've got CSS, but it isn't a website like Electron is a website built and bundled as an app, because the CSS that you write is completely different, right? Like you don't have display block, display flex, display grid. You don't even have a display property. It's very different, but it's made to fit to work better for games, because games are full screen. The whole thing is in the screen. It isn't a scrolling document where you have to constantly fight the overflow and no, it's on the. I just want this on the bottom. Why is it so difficult? For in Panorama, it's really easy. You just say a line bottom, and it's on the bottom. Panorama is pretty cool. I did have to program to do some programming fixes in C++ as well. Like most of the stuff you can do in JavaScript, but you need to have the JavaScript APIs, the functions exposed in C++, right, for it to actually work. So something like making a save UI system just didn't work because CSGO never needed saves. So I had to program my own save APIs that I can then use in JavaScript, which was horrible because the save menu and save system in Source Engine is, I think it's from Quake. Didn't Valve say in their latest Half-Life 1 documentary that they took the save system from Quake and adapted it for level transitions? It is really old. The code is. I mean, that bit of code is all of the Quake stuff is pretty good, but then it's just technical depth on top of that. You sometimes need to do a lot of custom stuff to get it working. Yeah, Demon, I'm also surprised how much interest there still is, because I was afraid. First of all, I was afraid that my channel was just sort of shadow banned on YouTube and could never get views, because I've heard that story from other YouTubers. When you have a lot of subscribers, and I had 8,000 subscribers that are all from my previous dark ages, where I made videos on YouTube that also got a lot of views. And then I didn't do anything on the channel. I only did Portal stuff, and I deleted all of the old videos and completely rebranded it. So I had 8,000 subs, but then the audience was different, so they didn't watch my Portal stuff. Could have made a new channel, I know, but I didn't. I didn't want to. And I've heard of other YouTubers that have to feel like because your subscribers don't watch your video, YouTube doesn't pick up on it and doesn't promote it. But I guess for this trailer, it was still that wasn't the case. So that was one fear I had. And also, yeah, whether people would still be interested in Portal after 10 years, like Portal 2 after 12 years. I guess they are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how long Portal 2 has survived. Not only as a modding scene, but also just being like the most popular game on Steam still.
The most reviewed for
12 years.
highly
Yeah,
reviewed.
yeah. 12 years later. It's like GTA 5, which is like the top 10, always in the top 10 years later, the best selling.
A code tour. So the thing with that is, you have to understand that the source code is licensed, right? I've signed an NDA that I can't share the C++ source code with anyone else, outside of our team and stuff, The JavaScript, however, is not covered by that, since it's not C++ and I programmed it. That is open, so I could share that. If there's interest after release, then maybe, but it isn't that interesting, honestly. It's pretty simple. I always try to make my software, whenever I program anything, as simple as possible. I hate overcomplicated solutions. They're just difficult to adapt, unstable, take a long, most of it is pretty simple stuff. Since the backend already takes care of a lot of things. Yeah, simplicity is really important. The website, the portalillusion.com website, is also engineered to be as simple as possible. It's just basically a static page that I host on Cloudflare Pages, so I don't even have to pay anything. Because as soon as you add, like some like when you start out programming websites and stuff, or like just program, you think, oh, I'm gonna add an account system, and you can write blogs, and you have a web editor for your blogs, and then you can have comments and posts, and that is so complicated. Like it's easy to get the prototype working, but first of all, that stuff is difficult to scale on the web. You have like scaling that stuff is an entire like 3 different job descriptions, and you just then have to worry about passwords, security. You have to save cookies and need to write up all of the legal stuff for that, and it's so much hassle. So our website is just pretty much static content, built as simply as possible. Favorite brand of water, tap. The tap water is my favorite. I mean, yeah, if I drink water just from a glass like this, I usually just drink tap water. I live in Austria, we have good tap water. People in the US always complain about their tap water, but we have pretty good. So static websites. Yeah, also the benefit of simplifying your website with not adding thousands of megabytes of JavaScript. It's just a better user experience, right? The website doesn't shuffle around when you load it for 5 minutes. It doesn't give you 15 pop-ups. I mean, that's the stuff you only need when you try to make money with the website. And I'm like, well, no one wants to visit your website like that. You just, yeah. So I always try to make my websites as simple as possible. I kind of over-optimize the load times. There's still JavaScript that gets loaded. I don't know why. I thought when I say next pre-render this thing, it is actually just a static page, but it's still JavaScript, but not much, and it's very fast. It's just all of the view components. How difficult? Look, the thing with difficulty is there are 2 types in my mind. There's mechanical and cognitive, right? Mechanical is things like Portal Prelude, where you have to do a lot of complicated flings that and very tight corner stuff, and that can be fun for certain types of players. One difficulty is on a controller it's pretty much impossible, and for less experienced players it's also pretty much impossible. So the difficulty with that is it is like a barrier, right? It locks players out entirely. It takes, if you have trouble with a mechanical puzzle, then that's basically a showstopper for you. With cognitive puzzles, they're also a barrier, but you can just, if you're really frustrated, you can look up a guide and then you find a solution and you can execute it. So it is not a complete showstopper, unlike mechanical, where you would have to like cheat and no clip up or something. And then achievements get broken and stuff, Yeah, so our puzzles have a bit more mechanical skill than Mel's. Mel's is pretty much 100% cognitive. Whereas ours is a bit more... We also have a lot of cognitive, but also a little bit of mechanical. Just a tiny bit, right? Like, you've seen some of it in the trailer. You jump out of a portal in the view, like in the jump as you're falling down. You have to shoot a portal at another wall and then fling out again. But with those stuff, we don't have many. In those cases, you're always oriented towards where you have to look, and there's a big like helper and stuff. So we help as much as possible. I've not seen a single playtester fail at that. Even those that have really poor mechanical skill, they can at least aim in time. If maybe not at first attempt, but they always get it. So yeah, it seems pretty fine. Our puzzles aren't as difficult as Mel's. I think there's some that could rival Mel, I guess. But the thing with Mel is they're really difficult because they don't teach you the elements. Like just the concept of cube respawning, cube swapping, I don't know what. It's just not taught to you. And then you expected to discover this new mechanic in a large environment where you have 5 buttons and two funnels or whatever. In Revolution, basically the entirety of Act 1 is training for those higher skill cognitive test elements, and I've seen playtesters actually say to me in the playtest, which is so rewarding, in one of the like last puzzles of that chapter, which basically is like tests whether you've understood these concepts. They say, "Oh, I need to swap the cubes now," and I'm just, I have succeeded. When playtesters tell you that they've learned something and actively recall that information, that's probably a success. Yeah, we lowered it. Yeah, I don't like that mod either because the thing with lowered is, right. Yeah, I don't like the test element too much. It's just not my my type of bread or whatever you call it. But other people really love it, and that's great. But for me, it isn't for me. It's really difficult. Yeah, I try to make the puzzles fun first and foremost, and also because we have new gameplay elements, right? The thing with Mel only had existing elements. So to be somewhat unique, they had to make the puzzles hard. Otherwise, what's the point? We have new elements, so we can make, we do the whole introduction and stuff of the new elements. So when you see like your first Schrödinger's cube, those first puzzles might be hard at first. Later, in 5 years, people will say that this is super easy introduction level stuff, because it is. But yeah. Cube respawn intro. I don't know. I never really felt like I properly learned that information, because it feels so counterintuitive, right? if you respawning the button, it feels like the cube. It feels like you're wasting you're losing progress. So we have like a proper basic introduction where it's just about doing that, and then next puzzle, and then we like reiterate and bigger context and stuff. Yeah, Reloaded is really difficult. It isn't for everyone. The thing is, if you make it so difficult, I mean, maybe that's its target audience, right? For us, the target audience is just more broad. I try to make this for everyone, that every Portal player could complete Revolution. And even our hardest test chambers that rival Mel in like cognitive complexity, people can solve them. Novice Portal players can solve them because the introduction builds up to it properly. So you know what you have to do. The Complementar. Yeah, the soundtrack will be on Steam. Complementar. Everyone loves Complementar. Collection with Half-Life. Tiny bit, but not that much. I mean, in the grander scheme, yeah, it's sure, but it's not like we're introducing that much new lore for that would affect Half-Life. Yeah, there are 19 achievements at the moment. Mel was harder than Reloaded. Yeah, it depends on the person. Some people, they struggle more with one element than the other. People are different, right? People are all different. I'm gonna load up Minecraft really quick and just check if I can stream this smoothly. This is just my own curiosity, but I can show my world if people are interested. I think it's more interesting than watching my face. Only my face.
Well, this is a good question here from Demon. Are there any mechanics/interactions you decided to not use in Revo? Example, I've decided to not use cube response as part of the puzzle and installation because it doesn't come very naturally to players.
Yeah, not using cube response is very brave, because that cube response and cube swaps are like a sort of known to be a cheap option of just adding complexity for the sake of complexity. We don't have it that much. Yeah, but to actually answer your question, yeah, we came up with some gameplay elements that we didn't use. One that I still kind of like. So we had the blue laser because everyone was excited. It's in P2C now. Gotta use the blue laser. It sucks. It's horrible. Like lasers.
Turns out more lasers are not typically good.
Yeah, lasers are a supporting element. Mostly, on their own, they're not that fun. You can't do that much with them, or at least not things that are fun, interesting, unique, and cool. They're better as as a supporting thing. For I combine this with the tractor beam in some way, or with the light bridge, or how you have the laser light bridge and then you turn off that bridge and it falls down and stuff like that. And then having two lasers, and then you need to have multiple different colored receptacles and relays and this and that, and we need to put this wall there so you can't shoot like that, and antlines going everywhere. It's horrible. So we didn't use that. Another thing we didn't use is we called it the Friesler. the idea was, because we had these different lasers, if you shoot a fizzler, any fizzler, with the blue laser, it would freeze and become ice. So it basically behaves like glass, right? You can't shoot through it, but you can see through it, and you can walk on it, and it like blocks physics objects and funnels and stuff. Like it is ice. I found that was interesting, and the red laser would melt it again. I made like a concept test map. Basically, just implementing it, like doing a janky implementations with triggers everywhere.
That the element didn't get very far. We made you made like exactly one concept map, and then that was its entire life.
Yeah, I feel like that is the most promising cut element that we have. That is something that I can see being interesting, but we cut it because it was just feature creep. We already basically had that the chapter where we would have used it was basically almost done, so we would have to either like extend it a ton or throw away already finished work again after it's already been remade countless times. So it was just cut in favor of the shower, the cleansing field.
Yeah.
Oh, that is Discord.
So you still have the test map. Yeah, we still have a whole bunch of test maps.
We have everything. Yeah. I just want to ask people. I can turn on my webcam at least. Logitech webcam. There it is. I just want to ask people if this is smooth, because when I stream on Discord, it's always choppy as hell. But I think it's just Discord being bad.
That looks fine on my end.
See, it's gotta be Discord.
Classic Discord. Someone also asked here, what would they say? I've lost it. Oh, so when Revo comes out, what will you guys do next?
I have an idea for next game. But you know, I'm no longer a student who can just do stuff in his free time. I've got to find some work or some way to, if it's, I don't know. I'm not gonna make another mod.
Most of the dev team seems to want to move on from Source after working on Source for like 3 years.
Yeah, that's the thing with every mod maker seems to just make one mod and then they're done with Source. And I mean, for us, I think it's even more the case, so because we worked with like a custom engine branch, unstable everything, so it's been even harder. But we've learned so much from this. I mean, it's been so fun. The main reason why I don't feel like I want to make another mod is because there's just no point, right? I've already like put all of my ideas into this mod. This mod is basically 5 games combined. The idea of the blue core, the character, I'm not gonna say what she is yet, who she is or whatever. But the idea for that character came to me when I thought about a cool story concept that I'll make in my next game about a character. Then I thought, wait, I have the second character in Revolution and I have no idea what she's gonna be. Why don't I just take that and stick it in there? And there we go. So yeah, this mod is just an agglomeration, whatever. Agglomeration of so many ideas. Yeah, and there's basically none left except for maybe the Friesler. But yeah, there's just after 8 years, you want to move on, you know. But I'm definitely gonna stay. Like, my next game is very inspired by Half-Life. It's already day. Why did I try to sleep? Next game is very inspired by Half-Life, and Portal as well.
My plans aren't nearly as exciting. I'm planning to stay in the Source community a little bit longer. Probably work on another project after Revolution, so you might see me around again.
You're very brave. I don't know how you have that much brain.
I'm very brave. I love Source too much. It can't drive me away yet.
It would be awesome if you could share the experiences you've learned on releasing this mod with the other mod creators.
There's not many people in the community who can say they've released the mod. There's like us and like the 3 other mods on Steam.
Yeah, and those, you know, modders
Like
are all
50 years
basically
old.
done. Yeah, they've pretty
Yeah.
much left the community, because it's just, once you've done this, it's yeah. Thought of applying at Valve, yeah, for sure, but I'll wait for the game to be done first.
Yeah.
Source is my life. Source, nice world. My world is crazy, isn't it? Look at that. This is my base. Source has a lot of really good gameplay concepts. Okay, design concepts. This like there are a lot of parts like design things in Source that are really, really good. The main problem with Source is just that it's a legacy engine. That's not that it isn't supported by anyone, right? Valve supports it. They turned it into Source 2. That's not available to us. So we're basically using abandoned code, and yeah, that's your own fault at that point. And I mean, we knew what we signed up for. At least I knew what I signed up for when I licensed the engine. Yeah, but we've definitely learned so much with this. I've become a much better programmer, Git user, software developer by working on Stratosource. I didn't like that. That was my first C++ project. I had no C++ experience before that. Supported by Strata, yeah, now by Strata, but those are also not full-time developers, right? I'm talking about corporate, proper support, putting out releases, putting out stable releases. My lips are still so dry. Anything I've ever built in Minecraft, my world is, yeah, our world is crazy. There's zombies here again. I built this like kebab shop, and there are always zombies that sit on the chairs, and they're like customers. Oh, it's zombie fight him. Ugh. Have to pay to set this project, so you can just make mods for free. Some people think that the source engine license, like getting the source code, costs money. It doesn't. It just costs a lot of patience. Really difficult to get that. But no, we didn't pay anything. Like, this is a zero budget game. I just need a quick potion here. I don't want to have this stream be too much Minecraft heavy, but I'll just quickly do this. I think I'm honestly really proud of my world. I've tried many times to build something like this, and this is the first time it succeeded this well. I just love Minecraft for being something else other than, like, I really love architecture, level design, and like building things, right? But so that's why I really enjoy doing level design and art, environment art for Revolution. But that gets tiring after a while, and you need some other outlet, and Minecraft is perfect for that, where I can just use these little blocks to build my city. Fabian is online. Favorite game? I mean, it's gotta be Portal 2. The thing is, when you make a mod, the game kind of becomes stale after a while. The most replayable is definitely Minecraft for me. But yeah, there's a reason I spent 8 years making a Portal mod. My Minecraft mod list. Look very closely. If you have questions, just look at that in slow motion. This is a really small mod pack, mainly building stuff and create. It's supposed to be very focused. We also have cars, which is why this is like car dependency. Hell, look at this. We're just gonna pave the world. I built a fucking highway with on and off ramps. And I pixeled these signs and stuff. Yeah, this is survival for sure. I should turn on my shaders, shouldn't I? That's better. Look at that, 60 FPS while streaming on 4K. 70. Environment design. Public transport. We want to build rails. My friend here, Fabi, built a crate rail factory. That's just crazy. My PC specs. You can see them on the right. My graphics card, I've got an RTX 3060 Ti from Gigabyte. What's public transport? I'm from USA. Yeah, your public transport is this highway here, my man. Yeah, the 3060 Ti, it is not the best graphics card, you know. I mean, I've got 3 monitors here. One of them is 4K, 144 Hertz, and I'm streaming. So this is, it's pretty demanded, right? Yeah, 100%. It's in high demand right now. My CPU is just incredibly overpowered. I've got a Ryzen 9 7950X, which has 32 threads. It's crazy, this thing. Yeah, I bought this to compile Portal maps. If you don't know, you need to compile the lighting in your maps before you can play it, right? You need to ray trace the whole thing, and that is done on the CPU. And I invested into this CPU so I can compile maps faster. Yeah, and the compile time went from, so I also need to compile the game engine, right? And the game engine build took like 20 minutes before, and now it takes 3 minutes, and that's a workflow defining difference, right? Because now I don't have, like, when it's 20 minutes and you can't use the PC yet, then you have to you stand up and make food and watch something, and then you come back 2 hours later and you've wasted a lot of time. But now I can just compile it, go to the toilet, come back, and it's done, and I can keep working. It's crazy. Same with maps. Where maps previously took an hour to compile on final, now take 15 minutes, 10 minutes. How many hours in Portal 2? I think I've got Portal 2 open here. 300, not that much. You know, it's like a 10-hour game on the first playthrough, and
wow.
I don't have that many hours in
I
Portal
thought you
2.
had more than that.
Nope.
I only have 3,500.
Yeah, the reason is from the first days of making this mod, I already had a source mod set up, right? So when I played in the source mod, it didn't count towards my Portal 2 hours. That's why. So this is actually just Portal 2 playtime, not at all development time. And in that case, I believe it's kind of impressive. when you realize that none of these hours are development, like map development, map testing. It is all just playing the game itself. Then I think it's quite high. Gotta sleep. Gotta sleep. Harsh Reap. Yeah, I mean, Demon, you use PTI and stuff a lot, and I
Yeah.
don't. I look, most Pod 2 mappers, modders, they started with workshop maps. I didn't make my first workshop map until 2019. I just modded from this, like, I just made maps for myself first, because I never felt like anything I made then would like, be worth releasing.
Quite the contrary to me. I uploaded my first Puzzlemaker map way back when, in 2013, when I got the game on PC after having played it initially on Xbox.
That's early. Yeah.
2011.
I also used Puzzlemaker a lot at the start, but I've never published anything. I mean, I think I did publish them. I deleted them now. But those are PTI maps, not like learning it in Hammer. All of my Hammer stuff has just been mod related.
I left all my maps up because I feel like it's a good way to see how far you've come, and people
Yeah.
can see how far you've come, and that kind of, I feel like that might inspire people. Like, whoa, this person made a really crappy map like 10 years ago, and now they're working on like the next big Portal 2 mod. I can probably do the same.
Yeah, it's why I released the 2017 alpha thing, cut content thing, right? For the same reason.
Yeah.
I just never made standalone maps. It was always a mod. I only made full mods. Because that was what the goal is. I'm usually always like that, right? I never learn something just for the sake of learning. I always approach it the way that I have a goal, I want to make this, so now I look up what I need to learn to get to this. Which is why I've ended up with such a broad skill set, where everything is really shallow and only what I desperately need at the moment. Yeah, my learning is always very project oriented. Windows Terminal is great. I don't know if I want to open this right now. Wait, let me quickly change this to be gameplay footage. I don't want to be accidentally leaking stuff.
Yeah. Let's not accidentally leak stuff that's close to release.
Yeah, because I have the source folder open here. That's not good.
But let's close the source folder then.
Yeah. The good thing about about Windows Terminal is that you have tabs and stuff and better selecting everything. I just prefer it. It's pretty good. Applying to a source P2 license. There is no process, no singular process. It's just knowing who to email. I mean, the best process that I can describe to you is, first of all, get a Steam app ID. Like, you need to. They don't take you seriously if you don't have one. And then open a Steamworks support ticket asking for a source license. That's how we did it. Yeah. If you already know somebody at Valve and they know you, or you have someone to connect you, like we did with Momentum Mod, then maybe it's easier, but it is really difficult. There's no proper way of doing it. It's always just kind of been question mark, profit. Please don't solicit any Stratosource team members asking them, hey, can you help me get this license? We've read those enough times. I don't need this gunpowder. I don't need this Rotten Flash. We should probably rename this to Car Dependency MC. And that's also the whole point of P2C, right? The point of P2C is that you don't need a license. You can just use P2C. That it's so extendable that you don't need any license. It's just not there right now. Like, for Revolution, I definitely needed to do a lot of code changes. Did Valve approve Portal Revolution? They approve of Revolution the same way they do with any other mod. It's allowed in the Steam subscription something. They just allow mods to exist. That's the whole approval, right? It isn't like Valve, like we asked Valve, hey, can we make this? And they said yes and gave us a stamp. People sometimes think it's like that. It's not. I mean, it's sort of a bit more approved because we have the license, right? But that is not, like, it was already approved before. Valve allows mods to exist. Go into Hall, this thing. This is a trading hall. Forgot my villagers. I didn't need to use this too much. Oh, hello. Yeah, I still haven't built a basement. I want this to be like the zombification basement where only bad things happen. Villagers get tortured until they give you cheaper prices. Villagers captive. Yeah, that's how Minecraft works, you know. My lips are so dry. Sorry, I'm constantly lip smacking.
ASMR stream.
Will there be explosions or implosions? Such a funny question. Will there be an explosion in this latest movie? Does Star Wars have explosion in its next sequel? There are explosions, I can tell you that. I built this today, I thought it was kind of cool. Where it's like a bridge. And if you have a boat, I need to get a boat. I'll just quickly fly up here. Boat. I had a boat somewhere. Continue that.
The one thing you need and can never find when you actually need it.
Yeah, I think I put all of them in the nether, in my nether highway tunnel thing. We called it a hyperloop. Oh, there's a boat. Right there. Okay. I'm just gonna put this there. So yeah, when you approach it with the boat, I mean you can't just go under it. Alright, like yeah, but when you press the button, it like goes up. Then you can go under, and then it closes again. I love Crate Mod so much; it's the best. Also got a button here. And I hooked up some note blocks to it. Crate is amazing. The apple, I don't know. I don't think so. No, it's not. On mobile. Port Evolution will not be running on mobile. I mean, you can play it with the stream thing, you know, what is it called? Steam Link. It does work with that, obviously, but it doesn't run on mobile. We don't have an ARM build or anything. It's really difficult.
Here's a question from Demon Risen. Here, he says, "What's your favorite chapter of Portal 2 and why?" I think mine is probably The Fall. I just love the old aperture setting so much. Cave is my fave.
It's really difficult.
I can agree with The Fall because I like that bit of silence right at the beginning of The Fall where there's absolutely no characters talking and you're just left alone in the facility. But what's my favorite chapter? I gotta look at all the chapters.
It's one of the most visually interesting for sure. I also quite like the Return, however. It's where you have a lot of 80s era story evolution. I don't know if I have a favorite. Hi, Will. You can join in the chat if you want, Will. People have been asking if their voice actors are gonna join. Honestly, don't know. No, I can't pick a favorite. I can't pick a favorite child. It's also like narrative, visuals, experiences, all of different like things. I love I love how you come back to aperture. Oh, Will is here. Hi, Will. I love every chapter for a different reason. I don't know if you can pick a favorite.
Hello.
You're
I
here.
guess maybe mine is either. I guess it's either the fall because of just that old aperture bit, the reunion because of the more old aperture bit, or the cold boot when you see because the cold boot's very dynamic act or chapter because you see all the facility repairing itself.
Yeah, I also really like the reconstructed stuff. I love
There's not
I
enough
also love the
reconstruction
visual
maps.
style. There are a lot of reconstruction maps. It's basically half the game.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about community maps.
Community, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
Overgrown is a
like,
cool
more
style, but
creative.
Portal 2 is barely any properly overgrown stuff. I feel like
Yeah,
Revolution
it's
is going to
basically just a
expand it
very
a
small
lot.
section. Yeah, the Revolution's Overgrown is substantially more overgrown than Portal 2's Overgrown.
Substantially larger
considering
as well.
considering the sky isn't a white void for starters.
Mm. Actually, you can release on ModDB for free. It's just yeah, you can't sell you can't sell it on any other like you can do it on ModDB like for free on other platforms. But Valve just want you to release it on the Epic Game Store and stuff like that, right? Like on other stores. I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's. Why do you think that? I will.
Hey there.
Say something.
Hi.
We've got 1 million views, Will.
This is crazy.
People-
Isn't it exciting?
People love Sterling.
It is exciting.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, so many thoughts. So happy to be here. Although I'm really distracted by just how beautiful your Minecraft world is.
It's very important.
Focal point right now. Way too distracted by that to talk about anything else.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in this world. These are my play minutes. 12,000 play minutes. The menacing pool dive, I'm really proud of the visuals in that map. I think that is the best the best overgrown that I've done in the Portal 2 engine, for sure.
Someone
Meh.
said that Will's kind of quiet.
Yeah, I turned him up a bit. Turned him up even more.
I'll crank up my volume a little bit.
I think that's good now. Yeah, Everly, you're right on that. I really love that about the style, how it transitions into the cleaner stuff, and they actually use the clean style as a joke once in like one chamber, because it's on its own it's not that visually interesting. Well, what are your thoughts on the Sterling fan art that is already out there?
I mean, it's kind of crazy because it. Oh my gosh, and Sarah's here too.
Sarah.
It's a party now.
Oh, that's very artifacty word for me. Hmm. Yeah, you said you might have
love
internet
a
issues.
chance to hang
Oh.
out.
Sorry for interrupting you, but now I can actually hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Good. So, should be fine. Should be fine. I'm truly in the middle of nowhere. I'm impressed.
Okay, it does cut out.
Oh no!
Sarah, you being in the middle of nowhere is not helping your voice connectivity.
No.
Ah, yep. It's just being in a foreign country.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
I will.
It sounds this clear right now.
Yeah, it only sounds clear when you ask whether it sounds good, but once you talk, it's just mush.
Oh no. Maybe I should just be in the chat. I'll just be in the chat. and
now
hang out
it
there.
works perfectly.
Now it's good.
That's perfectly. But as soon as you talk about anything important, I bet it's gonna.
Alright.
Let's try.
Look. Let's try. How we doing, gang? We all alive?
Just about. Yeah, wild.
We're doing great.
Doing so good. Will, I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Haven't spoken to you in 2 weeks.
When we recorded that file stuff, yeah.
I know.
Ooh, here's a question for both you and Will and Sarah from Demon Arisen. Who do you think gives the best voice performance in Portal 2?
Horrendous. The turrets.
That's the real answer.
Honestly, that's a nice answer, because they're so memorable.
They have great lines that you often never hear.
I really love the Portal 2 cast. Ella McLean, Stephen Merchant. What's Cave called again? I always forget names. Spider-Man guy.
Is J.K.
Simmons. J.K. Simmons?
Yeah.
Something Simmons.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons. Yeah,
J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons.
And then there's Nolan
American
North
Treasure.
as well.
The mod. This is
Yeah,
custom mod pack.
Nolan North.
Yeah, the mod pack. The turrets have been really fun. There are a lot of unused lines in the engine in Portal 2 that are just never used, and we just use them all. Not all of them, but
Yeah,
we
used,
found
like,
fun ways.
5 of them. I used 5 of them for like one scene. It's great.
Yeah, we
No
found
one's
fun
discovered
ways.
it yet, but I look forward to when they do.
We found fun ways to use those turret voices.
Yeah, they're very expressive if you let them be.
I always feel so bad for them.
Yeah, there was even somebody who commented, "Great trailer, but can we just take a moment to mourn the death of the turret that falls in the trailer at the start, in the big fan
They
room."
just make such sad noises. They're like, wah!
Yeah, no, don't worry, they're just surplus turrets. They get recycled. We actually have Sterling talk about those turrets.
We do.
Yeah.
Did a few different versions of those lines. I have a lot of strong feelings about the turrets. Yeah.
I even added triggers so they make no, and we had the one to die when they fall in.
Oh.
It's very fun.
I had fun when I had them reacting to each other.
Yeah.
I think I have one calls.
They're
good
just
shot.
bored. They're just bored and
That's
just
so
start
fun.
shooting.
And then one says, "Good shot."
In that turret playground, I actually have. I don't think anybody's noticed it yet. When you tip on one of the turrets, the other one says "She probably deserved it." It says something like that.
Oh.
It's or something like that. I think I want to add more stuff like that. It's just so fun, giving the chorus, giving the turrets a bit of very like a bit of personality that makes you feel really bad for killing them, but then they also try to kill you.
I was kind of reminded earlier today that like everything in Aperture is sentient for some reason. Like all the turrets, all the wall things.
Well,
Lados
yeah, the panels are
says
still
that the
definitely
cube is
sentient.
sentient.
The
Yeah,
panels
yeah.
definitely have some sort of intelligence to them. They with the way they act.
I wonder whether we should make a canon that our wet floor cones are sentient. We
There's
actually
like
now
one that
have a
says.
we now have a
Just have like one
bulletproof
that
cone.
says hi.
Oh god.
Just wait.
The companion cone.
No! Take it through a flippin' fizzler and it explodes, dies.
Oh god, we still have. There's the animation of the unused animation of a core reacting to being fizzled. It like shivers like whoa, because it doesn't actually get fizzled because it's like all first equipment. I don't think I wanted to use that. I don't think I have yet. Maybe we should record some new VO, Sarah, for that.
Okay.
If there is
Sarah,
time.
are you ready to go through a fizzler?
Ah.
Oh my gosh. That would be scary though.
Consciousness.
Oh my
A
goodness.
plus
There-
comment right there. Consciousness.
They're conscious. That's the real cone gameplay.
Cone core does not want to go through the cone fizzler.
People ask you to who does the best voice performance in Portal 2 mods, but I don't know if both of you have played all the mods or want to like shit on mods.
No, I haven't played the other mods, unfortunately. I haven't had a good PC for like most of my life. I only got a really nice PC like a month ago. So I'm doing a lot of catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so.
Who is your favorite performance out of the mods?
Oh god.
You two.
Oh,
Oh,
Aww, I mean for sure, but but excluding Revolution.
I'd probably have to be Aegis then, because I just like his very monotone bluntness.
Yeah, I think the virtual voice actor does a good job.
Yeah, Virgil too.
yeah, definitely.
Their character is just a bit one-dimensional. If I say something, if I have to say something, like he doesn't evolve, really. But I like the voice actor.
oh, if we're circling back to just the voice acting, good voice acting in our mod. Just want to like shout out Will. Like there are some moments where like the pressure's on, and Will's character does some. When the pressure's on is when like actors get to have fun, and you can tell that A, Will is having fun, and B, that he's doing. Like it comes across as both funny and like you're just like Sterling, like what a good lad, but also oh boy.
I wrote him as kind of a psychopath, but like borderline.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very sweet of you to say. I mean, it was. I mean, it was a tricky balance because a lot of times, just hearing my natural voice, a lot of times it's a little bit squeaky, and a lot of times I gotta kind of crank it down a bit. And then other times you're like giving me the okay. You're like, William, just really go for it. Scream like you're gonna concern every neighbor like on your street.
Yeah, there were.
I have like looked out my window a few times and seen someone like walking their dog, just stopping, being like, "Is someone okay?" In the
For real? I don't remember. I don't remember recording something like that. What the hell?
I mean, this isn't in the game, but like one of our earliest versions, yeah, I think you had the ability to like set Sterling on fire. Or
Oh yeah!
yeah.
Yeah, you can torture him. We gotta bring that back.
Cries for help. Yeah, that was fun. That was
So
fun.
hot.
But I mean, but right back at you though, Sarah. I mean, like we were not throwing out names here, but I mean, like your character, it seems like was just kind of we were unsure of the direction for a while, and then you came in and just immediately injected that personality into it. It seemed like I think you were hinting at this earlier. Like a lot of the decisions in lines were built around your personality.
Yeah, Scott is basically
Yeah.
just you, or at least an interpretation of you. We just built her
Oh,
around
no.
you. I for sure like a comical version, but I got like like a different version. But my God, that.
All right, comment section has spoken. Torturing Sterling, get it back in the game.
But where? That's the
Oh, no.
post game content.
Posting content. Sterling is on
Oh,
fire.
he's Android hell.
There's like an Easter egg, like on New Game Plus. There's a moment where you can when you turn a corner, and if you jump at a particular point, you can take Sterling off of the rail, and then you can do what you want with him. Like a really specific Easter egg.
That sounds very specific. Yeah,
Throw him in with the turrets.
I love it.
people talk about my storage system. Look, my storage system is practical. Okay, these shulker boxes are sorted by color. Here's all of my moss. Here's flower pot stuff. Here's white stuff. Here's gray and more gray. This is red. There's just nothing in it. Red stuff, colors, lamps and stuff, and I just put them on the wall because that's just how it is. I don't pretend. It's more effort to build to sort everything all the time because I have everything sorted. You know, here it's sorted. But also when I'm working on a project, I just need black stuff. So I have a chest, a shulker box full of black blocks. The more you hear, the more excited you are. That is amazing. We have shown nothing from our characters until now, and even now it's just like a tiny sneak peek. Those lines are not in the game, by the way. Those are just trailer lines.
They aren't. Yeah.
We recorded them just for the trailer, so the Isn't It Exciting that everyone is so excited about is not even in the game. It's just trailer.
I think my character says something very similar at one point, but
Yes.
it's not exact.
Yeah, that is like mushed together because that dialogue comes earlier, like 2 maps before. But we just put it in that map and reanimated it in and everything. So that was built just for the trailer. Because the narrative in the game, in the trailer you have to really craft the narrative in a more deliberate way of explaining to the players what's like, first of all, what era it's in. Stoller talks about this was great until she destroyed everybody. She was the only thing keeping it all together, so that should tell you it's before Portal 2 and after Portal 1. Just saying basically, hey, it's your job to repair the enrichment center, and to just hint at the characters a bit, but not doing a lot of plot. Something like a lot of trailers, they spoil a lot, I find, of story, and I try to write it so that you can get hints of things, but there's not that much.
Yeah, I mean, if we can, I don't know if y'all touched on this much, but just the process of making the trailer, I was talking with you like a while back saying like, oh, I do video editing for like my main career if you need any assistance with this. And we talked it over like a little bit, some of like the initial planning stages. But between you and the great track that was created like just to score the trailer, I mean, that was all you, man. I mean, you crushed it. You did a great job of balancing like story teases and the gameplay, and clearly, I mean, like, it's a million views. I would say you did a successful job with it.
Thanks, man, because you're an actual editor, so you know much more about this. Yeah, it took so long to make that trailer because I was just so. Yeah, I wanted to make it right. I wanted to have it really good, and I guess it did succeed. I must have done something right when a million people watch this, and when people think that this is a Valve game. I've seen a lot of comments where they just say, like, from looking at it, they feel that they thought that it looked so good and professional that they actually thought it was made by Valve, and that to me is just incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Be wary anyone making mods and uploading the trailers. You will get a lot of comments about people being upsetty that it's not Portal 3 or thinking it is Portal 3.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone away. 10 years later, and we're still dealing with that same problem.
Most players are just. Most comments seem to be like they had this emotional roller coaster of like, oh, this is a Valve, this must be a Valve thing, right? This must be a Valve thing, and then they find out it's a mod, and some are disappointed and angry, very few, but most people in the comments I see are like, they're like amazed that this was done by a mod team, so they were more impressed than disappointed because they were like, well, it still looks great, and this was done by a mod team, holy fucking shit. The misinterpretations of the trailer, it's frustrating to us. I think we didn't do a terrible job of communicating these things. It's just when you get a million people watching your stream, your trailer, if 50 people misinterpret something, that's not a bad. That isn't bad, that is pretty okay. Some will just miss stuff, but that's fine. Offering tools, yeah, there will be offering tools post-release probably. Yeah, new mechanics. I think with new mechanics they mean something like the paint gun or the third portal or the Figure of Time Machine tablet, like a completely overhauling gameplay element rather than smaller elements, supporting elements like the Schrödinger's cube. Thanks, Demon. I really over-optimized this. We just did a bunch of. I sent this to our playtesters to review, right? And there were some comments like, "Oh, I didn't hear the music at the start on my phone," and I think the intro, like the first shot, could be a bit longer because that was just very short at first, and I just kept expanding it. I think that was the right decision because now the first shot has become really iconic and grandiose, and the music also took a lot of work. I sent a lot of feedback to Jared about the direction of that. Most of the time with the in-game music, I don't really give many comments, but with this one, because I already had something in my mind, right? I knew what the energy I wanted. We had to go a bit of more back and forth. Trailer making, yeah. I used the DaVinci Resolve to make the trailer. You know what? I think I can show that. I think I can open just DaVinci. I'll close the game. I'll just quickly go to gameplay footage, and then I will close Minecraft, and then we'll look at the trailer in editing. Yeah, so I just used OBS to record it, and DaVinci Resolve, the free version, to edit it. DaVinci is great, yeah. It took a long time to learn for me because it does things very differently sometimes than what I was used to. Sarah, you want to say something?
Yeah, sorry, I was just about to say, that first shot of like that gorgeous like sunset, or like the moment. Truly, the moment for Portal fans is being outside, and just like the idea of like, because the point of Portal is like escape. You got to get out of Aperture Science, like you got to get out of the labs. And the moment that you go, the outside world, and it creates that first shot. Like especially when I watched it the first time, created such a sense of like awe and wonders. Like, oh, this is a Portal game, and you've got like this whole new world of color and light to play with, and it feels really good. It looks really good.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Yeah, that was kind of the idea. I mean, in Revolution, there is kind of this idea of you're so close to the surface, but so you've kind of escaped, but there is nowhere to escape to. Aperture is just so all-encompassing and ginormous that there's just nowhere to go. And that is on its own a different kind of weird feeling, where you are outside, right? You see this this huge vista, but everywhere you look, it's just more aperture, which is this kind of weird cosmic horror in a way. You can't escape it.
And there's no way to get out because the portal gun doesn't work on aperture surfaces, so it's
So
Yeah.
close but so far. Escape is just over
Yeah,
that
definitely.
vista, but you can't get there.
Yeah, and even if you get there, it's probably just more aperture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we saved that shot for now. I even thought about not including it in a trailer and just having it as a new in-game experience. And we still have really cool, really good looking, great vistas, a lot of really cool stuff that we have not shown yet. We wanted to save some of that, but that shot just had to be in there. Also with Sterling looking into the distance, and then the VO that we added later, just look at this place. Just add it to it. You don't realize it's Sterling there at first, but later you maybe realize, oh, it's actually Sterling looking out, looking at the destroyed aperture. It just fits so well together. Yeah, so this is the trailer. The editing is honestly really simple. The stuff at the bottom are just extra sound effects. And the trailer stems, this is the music, so we've got tracks for the music. Right. Added the crows and stuff.
Just look.
I have read one comment about that the in-game footage thing wasn't necessary because you can tell it's in-game. I think it was the right choice still, because it's not usual that game trailers are actually shot in-game, right? Even the Portal Stories Mel trailer it's all just SFM. I always prefer in-game footage over rendered footage. So yeah, I put it in there. I also thought it was kind of braggy or whatever, oh, look at how good this is, which I usually don't like to do that because we're always critical about our stuff. But I think it was the right choice. Seeing how big this trailer has become now, clarifying right at the start of this in-game footage, I think is a great choice. Yeah, but look, there's also you can also run it with a ray tracer that takes 10 minutes per frame, right? I like it when it's actually in game. The moving shots are just you can use no clip and then you can slow down the no clip speed with SV _ no clip speed or something like that to be really slow, and then you just press W and go forward. And the camera, there is cam _ smooth, and that way you can do the cinematic camera where you move and it keeps going and it's very smooth. I tried using that for the gameplay stuff as well, but the portal and view model would spin around too quickly and stuff, so I couldn't use it for that. Which is why the in-game footage is a bit choppy. The mouse movement is choppy, but that's also I kind of like that because it makes it feel diegetic, right? It makes it feel like it's actual gameplay footage. It doesn't feel like it's super cinematic and cleaned up. It feels more real in a way. Everything is in-game, yeah. This is all in-game. I said in-game footage. Why did it start? You were still confused about it. Yeah, I was amazed. I thought, oh, I don't know what the BPM is of this, and it's just 2 seconds. Exactly 2 seconds. That was nice. That was easy to sync to. Yeah. Yeah, I tried cutting every 2 seconds. I feel like that was also really successful because there's so much right? You cut so fast that you barely get a glimpse, so you probably watch it again and again just to see. Portal Fizzle. We didn't show this properly. This is it's the cleansing field. There's a gameplay demo, like actually just gameplay footage of that on my channel. Basically, it cleans stuff that goes through it.
It's kind of like the Paint Fizzler from B, but it looks better and isn't a custom B mod Fizzler.
Does the B mod Fizzler block portals?
No.
Okay, this one also doesn't.
But it is red, so it confuses players and it thinks it kills them. And also looks like a Portal 1 Fizzler.
This person is actually stuck in a science lab. Oh my god. Could be Black Mesa. That's also just a gigantic.
Black Mesa Spy.
Black Mesa Spy. Lower settings. When you turn the settings lower, you will just have blockier like sunlight shadows and lower resolution textures and rendering, but all of the props look pretty much the same. Could be at Spotify. Yeah, I'll have to see how this distribution stuff works. Yeah, I definitely want to get the soundtrack on as many places as possible. Simulated rain. Yeah, I mean, it is just rain, basically. They already do that. The doors change colors. They when it opens, it's orange. When it closes, it's blue. Don't know if you see that much in the trailer. Yeah, I mean, most of our soundtrack is a bit more subtle and ambient, right? For a puzzle game, it doesn't make sense to always have a highly energetic music in the background. I still really love it.
Now, I know our composer isn't here right now to speak on it, but yeah, I mean, the music in it, certainly everything like I've heard so far, is very impressive. It has like a nice unique identity to it, like for this mod, while still feeling like very much in the spirit of like the Portal universe. So, I mean, I think the players will definitely be impressed with the music too.
I think it's fantastic. It fits the mod so well, right? Like it is obviously Portal 2-esque, while still having its own identity. A bit of Half-Life inspiration in there. A lot of Mike Moraski in there, especially towards the end. I really love the music, but I already know that most people won't realize that there is music because it's so ambient and fits so well in with the environment that it almost sounds like it's just the environment like groaning to make these sounds, sort of like it does in Portal 2, right? Two types of guns. Yeah, there are different types of Portal guns. We actually have one that we didn't show in the trailer. So this is just a Portal 2 gun here. And yeah, we didn't want to show the Portal guns yet. There's also the clean gun, which is the mono portal one. Like yeah, that one only shoots the left portal. I don't want to reveal too much about the guns yet.
Gotta leave some surprises for you to play.
Yeah, I mean that was Monty's decision. I would have been comfortable showing it. The clean gun, yeah, it's this one. Where is it?
Yeah, you guys hid a lot in this trailer. I know you already touched on that, but when we were talking through potential shots to put in there, I mean, I was like running through a list of 5 things that weren't even really in like the spoiler, like late game category, and you're like, no, like that's gonna be way better for the players to experience in real time. And so, God, I mean, there's so much like that hasn't been shown.
I'm wondering right now which ones those were, but interesting.
Then there's the entire story, which we've not touched on at all, except a very brief overview.
This is still very teasery. There's so much more. It was important to me that this doesn't spoil everything already.
we'll have to come back like a few weeks, a month after release and do like a full story breakdown.
Yeah, we should do that. I mean, I want to do a developer commentary for sure, but we can also just have videos on YouTube where we just ramble about certain things, like how the story evolved over time, how Sarah inspired the character, how that character changed and stuff. Like basically like more podcast interviewee style sort of thing. I'd be up for it. Wikipedia page for sure.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, the thing with Wikipedia, from what I understand, is you can't make one about information that you generated. Right, so I can't write a thing about revolution, but once I put it out there, other people can write about it, because otherwise the source is me, which is not how it works. You can't just say, "Oh, trust me, that's how it is," which is really awkward. But it makes sense, I guess. Yeah. This this section here, where it's like this one continuous, like fling. Can I put the sound down a bit? Yeah, this where it's like transitioning into the other shot, and it's like one continuous fling. I found that was pretty fun. That was at the beginning. That was like the first thing we showed, and I found it was cool because there's so much movement. But it's like 8 seconds long of showing nothing new in the original, and that's something I didn't like. So we changed out to showing something. I mean, this one also doesn't show that much new. It shows this, I guess, which most people miss because it's so quick. Yeah, I switched out for this at first, which is like a new element, but I think Will also said that the first shot should probably be a bit more energetic. So I added this in front.
Yeah, that was my major contribution to the trailer, besides my,
Yeah.
beautiful voice up front.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you offered, and I asked if you, like, because you're a video editor professionally, so it makes sense that you're helping the trailer, right? You offered it. But I think it didn't go further than just talking about it.
I mean, I would have said something had you sent something into us that was like, ooh, like this isn't looking great, but even like the first cut of it that was missing the entire back half, we're like, yeah,
The first cut.
looking good.
Yeah, the first cut, which is I can open up the old versions.
Is
I
this
have to be
series
careful.
of title cards? Like,
The first version was just text with the music in the background.
maybe this here, maybe this here.
I'll just quickly go to gameplay footage and no, I can't because it's got no, it works. No, you know what? I'm not gonna do that because I'm afraid that there are shots that I don't want to show yet. But yeah. I mean, for me, I struggle a lot with getting the ball rolling with this. At first, I mean, it was just difficult even just getting footage to get it done because I didn't know what to even show in the trailer. So I just recorded a bunch of stuff, cut it together, threw out a bunch of stuff, re-recorded other shots, and then at first I did like one big recording session of just going in the game and looking at stuff, and then later I just recorded one clip, put it in there, looked if it worked, didn't work, re-record again, put it in there, works better, and that worked much better because then I just had faster reiteration and I could fine-tune the clips much more. Wallpaper reveal. I'm not gonna show that because I think my desktop isn't clean. It's got stuff in there that I don't want to show. My wallpaper is just Minecraft concept art. Like this one. I like this one a lot. Or in other languages? No. It's already so much effort to record the voiceover for one language. This mod is really big.
Stefan is going to personally dub over every language that Sarah and I can't speak.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really difficult, especially if you're not just like an indie creator who has no budget.
I
Music
mean,
will be
if
insane.
somebody translates it, I could do Japanese because I speak Japanese, but that's about it.
Don't have will in Japanese.
I could try.
God, that sounds so
Quick, how much
funny.
JoJo have you watched?
If you just give me like the phonetic script for it, yeah, let's see what happens. You know.
It's just all in
Truly, all it
English
is
letters.
phonetic. It's all the same 46 sounds. It's all good.
Ugh. I wonder how long the stream is gonna still last. When did we start?
Looks like we
It's
just hit
been-
about 2
been-
hours.
2 hours already.
Yeah. It's not feel like 2 hours.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's just stressful getting this game done. I already like when we released the trailer, for me it was kind of like okay, now we're done, but we are not done.
Very much not done.
Yeah. What's still left? The main thing is just the end, like cutscene sort of thing, right? When you finish the game, that is already like implemented. It just needs a lot of like that section of the game. Our finale is so custom asset and effects heavy. It's that took the longest time. That took so long. Monty just finished the final assets for that a few weeks ago, which is crazy. You
guys were still adding things to the finale, like set pieces, when we were recording the final VO stuff, and like so we were deciding new things for the finale and making set pieces while we were recording the voiceover.
Yeah,
that's what we call efficiency.
It was like, oh, let me add this in, but we'll need someone to say something about it. So, okay.
Funny story, we actually changed it again. And now, because there is this like back and forth between the characters that's really long at the beginning, that is just cut off because players finish it too quickly. So I decided to move that back into a section where there is barely anything. And that section, I will show you guys what I've done there, but I think it's much better now because now people can actually listen to that dialogue, which is really cool.
Excellent.
And it also it made that section less silent because I worked on the gameplay and then things just change. That's pretty much the development like sort of method. It's just everything is just always up to change, right? Nothing is holy. Everything can be changed.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be precious about anything. You're not allowed to hold anything on a pedestal because if the moment you do that, you could end up with like a golden turd that doesn't work out.
You also don't want to do it too much. If you accept every idea and mush stuff together, then it can be bad as well. But I think what helped is that I was still there to sort of keep it all in check, to keep it all consistent. If you make like storytelling by committee, that can go wrong very quickly, I think. Because there are also some ideas that I didn't accept. But most of the time I'm just, that's so much more fun. Let's do that. Yeah, I feel like you just end up with better art that way. if you allow things to change. I mean, we made gigantic story changes 4 months from 4 months before now that like changed the entire plot.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, I mean, that has existed since 2016, and it's always been a problem, but I was never brave enough to change it, and then we just decided to change it, and it's so much better now. But it's crazy how late in development we still make these massive changes to stuff.
Yeah, nothing like an easy story swap where we're like, oh, we'll just do the exact opposite of what we had here before.
Yeah, that's basically what we did. We had, we do this, and that's kind of, let's change it to the literal opposite. And that somehow worked much better.
I mean, I think it worked out great. I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty proud of everything we've done. There's nothing where I like roll my eyes or have regrets, which is kind of odd because that's been my experience the last 8 years. Oh my god. I don't just like take a step back to appreciate or to look at or to reflect. I rarely do that. But this is a different moment now. Someone asked how our day was.
Tired because I've been compiling and recompiling the same map about 5 times, and it takes 10 minutes to compile.
Oh yeah.
I finally gave up and said, okay, I'm not compiling lighting anymore. Now I can move on to the next map.
Yeah, that's the worst. When you just make a slight error in your logic and you think it's fine, and then you do a full compile, and then you make a slight error, and then you I added I added the elevator that had sounds and everything, but I didn't change it, so it goes up, so it just goes into the wall. So now I have to recompile it again. That is something I did yesterday. I added an elevator and just goes to the wrong direction. And then you have to recompile everything. You messed up for something really simple. Yeah, my day was fun. I had a really bad sleep schedule, and yesterday was so bad I just couldn't go to sleep, so I decided to just do an all-nighter and just stay awake. So yesterday's meeting wasn't that great. Our meeting at 8.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
Yeah, I guess I was just so dead. And then I went to sleep immediately after, and then I slept for 8 hours, which means that I woke up on 4 a.m. today, which is when I'd normally go to sleep, because I was so fucked up with the sleep schedule. So now I've been awake since 4 a.m. I had a nap at midday because, yeah, you need more than 8 hours of sleep to recover from an all-nighter. But I'm feeling great that I finally fixed my sleep schedule. We've hit 1 million views. My family is going absolutely crazy about all of this. They can't comprehend this, and they even surprised me with gifts and stuff, which was fun. Millions views. We hit 10,000. I hit 10,000 subscribers finally. I'll say that because I made videos on this channel before Port Revolution, and I deleted them all, and I reached like 9,700 subs, just shy of 10k, and then it just decreased all but now we passed it, and that's fun. That's just more of a, I don't care too much about these numbers because I feel like that's pretty shallow, but that was cool. Yeah, it's cool, but that was the real. I don't want to like. I don't know. I guess I'm just always afraid of bragging about stuff. It's just that has been in the back of my mind all the time. Like, I just shy of 10k. That would be a nice milestone to celebrate. But now we reached it.
It's gotta feel pretty surreal as long as you've been working on this. I mean, you and the whole team for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been used to nobody caring about this mod, it always being ignored, and no one understands what I do. And everything always just being criticized and shat on.
And now you have like video evidence and an astounding, incomprehensible number to back you up and be like, haha.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is something. That's actually true though, you know, like when you have to explain to your grandparents what I do, right? They don't understand anything what I'm saying. They don't even know what a video game is. Why would they understand why I'm making a fan game with no pay? I'm not in a company. What? Like I'm not hired for this. What are you doing?
What? You're not secretly hired by Valve?
That would be nice.
The internet lied to us?
Everyone always
right.
tells me that I'm gonna work at Valve. Valve, listen to them, please. Your company's shrinking. You gotta hire me.
Like they already know of Revolution, don't they? Like
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean even Mike Morasco, when interviewed him, said that he's heard of Revolution and stuff like that travels through the office. I wonder whether he actually meant Reloaded, but now they definitely got an. They should have definitely heard about it by now. I mean, for sure, because I even support tickets now, so Valve has always known about this. I mean, they sent me a contract and stuff, so yeah, of course Valve is aware.
That should definitely increase the chances of ever getting accepted, because then they'll go like, hey, other person that released a highly successful World 2 mod.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of feel like Valve used to do these things more in the past and has been steering away from that.
That's kind of how their games got made. They modders and then...
Which I find disappointing, that they just kind of stopped doing that, stopped supporting mods that much.
10 years too late.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're exactly right earlier. It's a very hard thing to explain to grandparents what the hell is going on here. When family is asking, like, "Oh, William, I hear your voicing, doing some voices. Is that right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's for a free mod of a game that came out
12 years ago.
12 years ago." And it's like, well, I have no follow-up questions to that.
I understand exactly everything.
Yeah, my dad keeps asking if I'm getting paid, and I'm like, no, Dad, it's for funsies. Like this is we're doing it because we love Portal.
Why would you do anything for free? Why do you make something if you're not getting paid?
I know, right?
The payment is the exposure.
Yeah, truly. Everybody follow me.
I mean,
give me your money.
It is easier for someone to do something like this when they're, for someone like me who just did this on the side during school as a hobby because they didn't want to learn about the history of Austria for fifth time again. There's nothing else that we learned about. Yeah. But yeah, when you're an adult and you have like a job and stuff, and then it's more difficult to work on these sort of passion projects, I think.
Yeah,
which is why I also I had to finish it this year. Like I couldn't work on this another year because I don't want to work on this like on the side of working on some crappy job. Then the mod would just suffer. It would have to be delayed like probably a year because I don't have any time and stuff. So I just basically try to get this out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely different being an adult with a job and things, and your coworkers being like, "So what are you doing this weekend?" And being like, "Well, you see, I'm gonna have a call with some people overseas, and we're gonna spend like 3 hours talking about a video game and doing silly voices, and it's gonna be great." And they'll be like, "I'm going to a party," and you're like, "Sounds fun, buddy."
If you'll excuse me, I need to spend the next 2 hours screaming in a closet. Goodbye.
I'm not
So much
talking
more
to you. That line when I was crack up. I love Araf Alali. I slowly realized that I modeled Sterling after a Minecraft YouTuber called B00. I've realized it very late. Just this charming but also vibrant and energetic and shouty personality with a slightly funny voice. I'll send you more clips again, and then you'll immediately know what I mean. Oh.
What about his stripes? Where did that come from?
Those stripes, you know, that was a texture that somebody whom I forgot the name of made, I think, like 5 years ago. And at the time I didn't like it, and I just sort of, yeah, you know what, we'll find something better, but I'll just keep it there. It was actually green originally, then I tinted it orange, and it stayed in there ever since. And I kind of,
when it was green.
yeah, I like it. I still like it because it's so subtle and not too attention grabbing.
It definitely makes him not just another wall with a white shell.
Yeah, the white shell. I wanted some paint job, but nothing that is as extravagant like Virgil. Virgil is like completely painted. I wanted something that's a bit more subtle. That's just more like a little pattern, and it sort of looks like hazard stripes. And he's he's cleaning up the facility and stuff.
Yeah.
I think yeah. I never really thought about it much.
I think when people finally see it up close, I mean, I don't know. Sarah's character's model, I think, is going to be a real standout in the future.
The Sarah's core model is entirely new. I really love the style of that. Monty did an amazing job on the texturing. He's so good at. I've had a lot of trouble with modelers who didn't know the PBR workflow, but we don't have that in Revolution. I mean, we have a PBR shader, but it sucks. So we decided to not use it. So we're just using the source engine specular crap workflow. And most modelers or the texture artists, modelers that make textures, they're not used to that workflow. And Monty is really, really great at making exceptional looking materials just using source engine Fong. I'm so glad we found him, because he wasn't even a texture or model artist at first. He was a level. He was a mapper. He applied as a mapper, but now he does barely any mapping anymore. I mean, he does, but it's mainly modeling for him now, I think. And I think that's insane how he manages to make these assets.
Oh yeah, he's a magician with the modeling. It seems like every request you've thrown his way, he's just, delivered tenfold to you.
Yeah, he's grown so much with this. I'm really proud of him. Just because, I mean, I think that he learned. I think he said that he knew nothing about 3D modeling before he joined Revolution, and then he just learned everything because of this mod. And I find it crazy that he has a similar amount of dedication for this free product, which I've never really expected from anyone. Because I also had some bad experiences in the past, right, when I was just starting out, with getting people who are actually excited about the thing. I was also not a great level lead developer, so I'm just really thankful for all of you guys' passion for this. I don't know. I always felt so weird just asking people, "Hey, can you do this for free for me from my mod?"
I mean, it sounds crazy when you ask that, but I don't know. I've mentioned this to you dozens of times. The whole development team here is like far more organized than a majority of projects I've been on. Y'all stick to your weekly meetings. Y'all have like to-do lists that y'all are quickly like checking off, finding solutions to. I mean, y'all are like a well-oiled machine over here.
It doesn't feel like that to me, but I think we're not that bad, yeah. This is Will, yeah. Will, you sound like... I can't pronounce that name. Do you have chat open?
I do have chat open.
Someone
Yes,
says you sound like person. I find it so funny how many people say, does this core sound like character or person? And I have no idea who they
there's
are.
a lot of people that think that. People who thinks he
This
sounds like a
one is-
TikTok narrator. There's people
Yeah.
who someone
TikTok
said he's like the
narrator.
SpongeBob narrator. There's someone who thinks he's like this Alex Cosgrove, whoever that is. It's like it's just that you got apparently got such a diverse voice. You're just like multiple people all at once.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot. I know they're popping up in the chat right now. I've gotten SpongeBob. I've gotten Adam Conover. I've gotten, I mean, like at
The
least
man of
the
1,000
Gianni one
faces.
is like an actual like voice actor here, or like that's like their main profession. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of comparisons.
I think
No,
that's so
Johnny.
funny.
It is. You know what? It is pronounced Johnny. That's. I'm such a fool.
Gianni,
Yes.
Johnny, okay.
Pronounced Johnny.
That's a weird
Not
way
gonna make that
to
mistake again.
spell Johnny.
Yeah. I think that person gets it a lot. Ultra kill, I see.
Sterling sounds like a Will from what a sounds like Will. What a coincidence.
Someone asked if you have
That's pretty
social
good
media, Will.
I do. I could type it into chat, and please follow Sarah's as well. She's much more organized on social media than I am.
Look, I started it earlier this year because I was like, I need to do something. And I'm like trying to be a professional about it, but every now and then I'm just like, what if I just posted memes?
Yeah, I will. If you want, I can add your social link in the description of the trailer. I did the same with Sarah as well. If you want it.
Yeah. I'll message you about that. We can maybe add that.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you posted it on Instagram. The
Someone
trailer.
said, "Please in Sterling voice say quote unquote Gladys Gaming."
Just GLaDOS Gaming. Wait, no, that was like way too. Wait, that's the thing. Like you
Sterling
gotta,
Gaming.
Who's that?
I don't even think that was. No, that wasn't Sterling.
That's not. That's like Sterling's your brother, Burling.
Yeah, I gotta like ease into it. Y'all tell me when I'm hitting like the Sterling tone here. GLaDOS Gaming.
But why GLaDOS? You're Sterling. do you know where this comes from, Will?
I have no. What does this come from?
It comes from TF2. The TF2 community. They edited something engineer gaming. When you play the engineer and you put turds everywhere, and you're the engineer, and then they ask the voice actors of those other characters it constantly just. Can you please say medic gaming and spy gaming? And they got pretty much all of them except for those. I think one of the voice actors died.
We need to find a place to put Sterling's line. That's our job now, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? Because a lot of people love it.
I don't want to just throw it in there if it doesn't fit anywhere.
No, I
think
mean,
it's fine if it's just
if
written
there's,
on.
like,
Might be able to find a place. Well, but no promises there.
I really can't wait to see which parts of the game are going to resonate with players most, because I have no idea. Right?
Yeah.
Like, as the developer, you just sort of throw stuff at the wall, and you have no idea what's going to stick. I would have never thought that the Isn't It Exciting line would get fan art.
Oh, they want me to say it right now.
There are a couple that like I'd like to see, definitely.
Say the line, Bart. Okay.
No, Dad.
Yeah, that's our job now. Isn't it exciting?
I always find it so funny, but it just sounds like you're playing an MP3 file.
That was one thing you were very, like, just shocked by. You would have me go back and re-record lines, and I would just say them exactly
Exactly
like
the
I
same.
did. Exactly same inflections like I did a year ago.
2 years
And you're
ago. Yeah, it's how the fuck.
Like, crap are you doing right now?
The fact that you remember exactly how you said it 2 years ago and just
I mean-
delivered it exactly the same.
Honestly, you could pull, like, a scrapped line right now, and I could probably say it exactly how I delivered it 2 years ago. I mean, like, God, when did I start with you?
Oh my god. I think we actually started at the start, didn't we?
Yes, thank you. Consistency is key. That's what I'm always saying. Sarah,
This is going to become a new mini game where we'll be like, all right, this line from Act 2, this level.
From
it. We'll be like, oh.
Come on, Will. SP A2 fling intro 005. A, go on. No. somehow remembering
I just
system
love
works.
to freak you out right now. Like, pull up the old script without you
Pick up the Notion document, yeah.
Sarah, someone's asking if we're able to do any other impressions. Can you do impressions outside of, as many people have pointed out, I guess the mom from Bluey?
Oh, yeah.
I can. Yes.
I gotta
I
watch that.
Bluey is fantastic.
I've
Bluey
heard
makes
it
me
is.
cry on a regular basis.
I've heard it is. It's like a kid. Isn't it like a show made for like preschoolers? That is like so well done that adults really love it because it's just so wholesome and has great messaging.
It's
I
incredible.
I just came from a Thanksgiving trip and house just full of children. Bluey on about like 5 hours a day every day while I was there.
It's better Bluey than YouTube Spider-Man versus Elsa.
It's better than Skibidi Toilet.
Yeah.
Oh man. I am so sick of children saying skibbity toilet to me.
Sarah, maybe we should have you start saying. Maybe we should have a line in Revolution where you say Skibidi Toilet.
Please not.
No.
See, this is why I'm the lead developer here. I'm here to keep the crap out of the mod.
just have my little call. Hold on, how does she speak? I'm having the same problem as well.
I know. It just like it's hard to just like turn it right on, even though it is just our natural speaking voice. Like,
It kind of is, but like
Kind of
it's like a higher register. And sometimes when I go there, I sound way more British than I do Australian. But anyway.
Oh, that reminds me.
We had
Someone-
the discussion.
someone in the
Should we
comments-
talk about that? Should we talk about that discussion?
Someone in
Sarah?
the comments of the trailer said that you sounded British, so that means you must be evil.
I've not seen that
Look.
comment.
I can't help it, okay?
Sarah, should we talk?
Someone
Should
also
we?
thought you were like a gender bent Wheatley as well.
Yeah, I don't know why. People thought you were Chell.
Yes, a lot of people
Oh.
confuse your voice
I
for
was
Shell.
like, wow,
Yeah.
these are wild conspiracies.
Like we've never even heard Shell speak. How do we know that you sound like Shell?
Yeah, and why do they not realize
I'm
that,
like-
that there's an animated core in front of you?
It's too dark
Yeah.
for the issue.
What Gen
too
Alpha
dark. They haven't
slang are
seen-
you throwing in here?
They haven't seen the secret close-ups of my character.
Yeah. Sarah, should we talk about that discussion we had at the start when we first talked about your accent, which one you should do?
Where I didn't want to do an Australian accent.
Did you not want to? I thought you were just used to people asking for other stuff.
Yeah, like I was so used to people not wanting my Australian accent, and so used to not hearing Australian accents. Like, there's this very interesting phenomenon that you can Wikipedia all you want. It is called the cultural cringe, and very specifically, it relates to how like Australians see themselves in the eyes of the world. And basically we are so unused to hearing our accent on a global scale that we just automatically phase it out. We just go, nope, that doesn't exist. You want something else from me because what we are is not as good as what you are.
What the hell?
Times are changing,
It's
Sarah.
stuff.
We're living in a
Never heard about
post-Bluey
that.
world right now.
It's not a post-Bluey, it's a Bluey world.
Exists.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is
It's
now. It's a
currently the
Bluey
Bluey
world.
Yeah.
I am allowed to be a little like Bluey. One part of the reasons Bluey makes me cry is because it's like breaking down these horrible cultural embedded thoughts. You know, it's just like it is okay to be Australian in this global like economy.
I never knew about that.
That's really
It's-
the secret point of Bluey.
But yeah, I wanted to Australia.
Yeah, like I gave you an American version. I gave you a British version. There's a character in an audio drama that I do for another project. That is kind of just like a very hyper version of my Revolution character. They have very different vibes, but also somehow the same vibes. And so I gave you like that British one, and you were like, "No, go back to your native, please." And I was like, "Okay." So that's what we did, and truly, I really like it now.
I love it. Your character does multiple accents depending on the situation. We have a section where you're basically like quoting or like something that Cave would have said or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, you're basically like
That
doing
was
an
fun.
impression. And it's just the most like,
Oh, yeah.
like American sort of Texan
It's the most
stuff like
Texan,
that.
like fake Texan thing I've ever heard, and it works so great for that line.
It's so fun, and then also some like British stuff when the character tries to be like professional something like when she puts on her voice as well. I feel like it's so fun that. But yeah, I really love those. I don't know why. I just love the Australian accent. I'm really bad at telling which accent it is. Like I'm really bad at telling English accents apart. Except like super exaggerated. Because it's obviously not my first language, and I just don't have that much experience. But yeah, the thing that you did in Revo is fantastic. There are only a few times where I can tell that is like hyper Australian.
I was talking to some Americans the other day, and at one point, like we were having dinner, and at one point they said something that made me go, "Oh no." And then they like broke out laughing because like saying "oh no" in an Australian accent is apparently the funniest thing on the planet.
It is.
It's just very memeable.
What? Just oh no.
Because there's the way we say it, we just go, "oh no."
Okay.
At least that's like a subtle version. I mean, like people love just the word "no" in the Australian accent because you can just really lean into the "nor."
No.
Okay, I think if
very
I remember, we have some of that.
It does turn up. There were a couple of moments where my character gets a little bit excited or something will not go their way. And like I just sort of lent into, because I do it as a person as well. Like it's something that when either I'm relaxed or I'm talking to myself, my Australian accent comes out way more than it normally would. And so I just sort of let that happen, and it was just like, yeah, that works, doesn't it?
Man, I just wish we could talk more about the details.
Soon enough. Soon enough.
Yeah.
Soon, just
I just remember that I actually
39
never answered Demon's question about how much we still have to do.
I tried clicking on my profile and moved myself to AFK by mistake.
Yeah, that happens. I never really answered Demon's question about what we still have to do. Yeah, pretty much it's just the finale, like cutscene stuff, and other than that, we're pretty much just polishing the shit out of everything now.
Well, they work on finale because I don't have the technical.
Yeah, finale is pretty much
work on
just me.
finale. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of polishing. Like I'm currently going through and polishing A3.
Going to the
Which takes a
last
while.
places that still need some decoration and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Effects and inconsistencies like elevators that transition. They are this fast and then it is slow. Next map, you're fixing that right now, aren't you?
I will be fixing that very next go through. I'm currently adding the remaining dust particles coming out of the vents.
That,
It's
yeah,
still needs that.
the vacuum tubes, yeah.
There's a surprising amount of vacuum tubes that didn't have air coming out of it, and now it looks so much better.
Yup. Those instances are from 2016. They're really old.
Yeah, I fixed them up, and then I made visual only ones, so they didn't interfere with the puzzle. They just do the effects.
Other than that, like engine-wise, I fixed like 5 different bugs yesterday. That was nice. I'm surprised I managed to concentrate for that long on this many different things while I had no sleep. Yeah, I fixed 5 fucking bugs. That was great. Sarah, you said you didn't know which button you had to push to crouch.
I was like, it's shift, right? It's not shift.
You're playing too much Minecraft.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
trying to...
I asked my dad, my dad was just walking by and I was just like, hey, which key to crouch? And he said C, which is the wrong answer. And then I was like, okay, I gotta add an indicator. The thing with the indicators is, we had an indicator at that place where you failed to crouch. And I have seen playtesters fail to crouch there many times. The indicator just didn't work in our game engine. That's why I had to remove it. It would just it would pop up and put an image of a button or of like a key in there with no text. So it's just like an empty switch. But it doesn't say what the button is you have to push. It apparently couldn't load the font because of a coding error. So I fixed that, and now we actually have working indicators again, which I'm gonna add everywhere, or at least in places where I see playtesters fail to remember which buttons to push. Yeah, user interface still needs some work. It's really difficult to make a user interface that works on mouse and keyboard and controller at the same time. Panorama just isn't built for it. So I have to do a lot of stuff myself. I've put it on pause for now because it's technically working, right? It's usable, it's just not very elegant in some ways. So I still need to polish the user interface. I need to do the German subtitles. That is not fun. That is just, it's harder than I thought to translate this stuff, and we have got a big script, so
This is an interesting question from Aiden King. If the mod on release is big news worthy, would Stefan or Sarah or Will be doing interviews?
with whom? Like just us or other people with us? If anybody wants to do an
Call you up.
interview, my email is somewhere.
Like, I'm always available for things.
The thing is-
I can't guarantee that I'll pop up for it because it might look. We'll see. I reckon if anybody's got like answers for your questions, it's Stefan.
Yeah, if it's
Absolutely.
just moderated, most of it can just go to me. If you want to talk about to voice actors, then them. Just keep in mind that if you want all of us on at the same time to talk,
Good luck.
someone will have to suffer. One American,
Someone
one
will.
Australian, and one from Europe, all in the worst like triangle. One has to suffer. Usually, it's been me. Sarah is not in Australia right now, so that works well now. Yeah, and then yeah, it's just pretty much polishing last stuff. Still some bugs to fix. I mean, like map bugs. But those things are rather minor. There's still some little bit of character animation I need to do. Character animation. I'm getting better at and faster at it. Someone thought that Harry animated that, and I was so humbled by that. if they think that my shoddy character animation work in that section was made by Harry, because that character animation in a trailer for Sterling, it wasn't even made for that voice line. That is a completely different voice line. And I just put the two on top and it just sort of worked.
Yeah, he was saying something else really cheeky where he has to like squint his eye. I can't remember what it was.
I remember what it was. I'm not gonna say it. Don't you don't remember the line? Which
No.
which changed like 5 times by now.
Playing it cool right now.
We gotta play the game. I gotta program a program that diffs the two sound files and checks the score, and then you get a closeness score, how close they were to the original.
Oh my god.
I'll play that game.
There should be like put that in the voice actor Olympics. Just like how exact can you be?
Yeah.
Oh, it was asked before, but I don't think I heard the answer. Will, do you do any other impressions like of characters or people that we would recognize?
Oh gosh. I mean, like technically yes. Would I be able to summon it on the live stream right now? I don't know. I will say I threw out an impression to Stefan once, and I don't know what the context was. Like in the moment, I did like an impression of like Joker from the Batman the Animated Series version, like Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker version. And
Oh, yeah.
you had no idea what I was doing, and
I remember that.
I explained it to you. I'm like, you don't know. That was a pretty spot on impression right there. And you're like, well, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you, William. I couldn't tell you.
I've not seen that. I didn't even remember that.
Like, I'll have to trust you on that.
I just, yeah. One of the things that was really cool is we're both big fans of Community.
Yeah, the amount of times in our recordings that I will just finish a line, and I'm like, okay, cool. And it was just...
I was wondering.
About half the recording.
Yeah, because when we were first recording, I was like wondering, is he just doing this by like just by accident, or like it's coincidence, or is he actually doing like the Community, like the Arbeitsfähigen Community? Then I asked you, and you were like, oh, and you were like, oh yeah, I don't even notice it anymore.
No, that is just like part of my like public speak now. I mean, that's just like ingrained in my vocabulary. So many things are. I mean,
I think that's fantastic. Community is my favorite TV show ever. Big inspiration for Revolution in terms of character and story work. Because what Community does super well is it has all of this silliness. It's the silliest show I've ever seen, but it doesn't just feel like it's silly for the sake of being silly. Like it's just, oh, now we're building a blanket fort just because our creator is, you know, what, like nostalgic or childish or whatever. This is just what we're doing. It always feels grounded and heartfelt and meaningful because it's the characters are so well developed that these things just arise naturally, and it feels so great. And
I mean,
as they're just doing like a pillow fight, they're developing the story, the characters of these two, students that don't want to play with each other anymore, and they did not now they say they hate each other, but then they both like each other again, and all of that, and so like they develop this story, a really heartfelt, great story, as all of this crazy stuff happens, and how Dan Harmon keeps managing to do that is just insane to me. And I studied a lot of his work for Portal Revolution to have because in Community each character has so much like personality, and I really wanted Portal Revolution's characters to have a lot of personality, many facets. The sort of feeling that there's so much you don't know about them. I mean, we have so many like jokes and in references about them that just don't even show in the game or aren't even like that obvious, but they're like hinted at, and those things just make the character so much more complex and fun for me.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you did a good job taking inspiration. The mods got jokes for sure. And I mean, no, you got some good humor in there. You got some good story in there. It's I've been very impressed through the process.
Yep. Some of the things Sterling says made me absolutely crack up. I was some incredibly unexpected, brilliant one-liners. I was like, "Oh my god!" Laughed.
You have to DM me what those are because I need to take notes. Yeah, I mean, writing trying to write genuine comedy for me is really difficult because I feel like, I'm just always so self-conscious, and I never like try to claim that this is now greatest thing ever and this is a good joke or something. I rather just like I write something, I see if it works, I see if it like I test it, and so that's like more of a scientific data-driven approach, where it's like we try something, if it doesn't work then we'll change it, and then we keep changing it until it works, because even if I find something funny, maybe someone else doesn't. And I mean, it's still my like type of humor in there, but the thing, when even I have to crack up after hearing the same joke 50 times, then I feel like I've done something right. But most of the time, it's just your guys' voices perfectly matching and elevating that. Because I can write a great joke, but if it isn't delivered well, if it's not paced well, if it's got the wrong context, it doesn't work.
We have a fun time.
Yeah, lately I was playing. You sent a re-recording of one of the lines, and I implemented it. I didn't even like really check it in game, and then I played the game. Like weeks later, and then I heard that, and I actually just burst out laughing because that delivery was just so fun. It was.
One of these days, I'm just gonna sneak into one of my lines, just the entire lemon rant.
Oh, that line, Sarah. Yeah, I know. That line. Yeah, I've got good reactions with that, so that one must work. That's a really dark one. The dark humor always works well. Dark humor, as long as it isn't, like an edgy teenager making jokes about World War II, and it's just purely tragic and there's nothing funny about it. That's not great dark humor. But stuff like that works well.
Yep. I'm actually gonna head off. It's been absolutely lovely, but I need to go to bed.
That's good. Thanks for joining in, Sarah.
I need to jump off too.
Thanks for joining in.
Wonderful, everybody.
Have good days, nights, weeks, wherever you are.
Yes, indeed. Congrats on 1 million.
Woo! that is truly the most exciting thing I have. What an incomprehensible number.
Yeah, it's crazy. I hope you guys get your break in the voice acting industry. I mean, Will has been doing some stuff. You're all, I don't know what you guys are doing on the side except for this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
Bye-bye.
else? See ya.
Nope,
All
that's
right.
all. I gotta
Bye.
dash.
Bye.
And then there was us two.
Yeah, I don't think I closed it off well. It sounds a bit weird. Yeah. Yeah.
I just realized we should totally do, or maybe not totally, but it'd be fun to do like a launch stream on January 5th.
Launched. Yeah, I don't know how like I thought about that as well, but I wouldn't stream the game on day one. And other people that want to play it, they're not gonna watch the stream, so they're so the most.
Like,
oh, you mean
I'm
like
talking about like streaming the
leading
game.
up
I'm
to
talking
it.
about like leading up to like gaming for the release, building up that hype.
We
talk
could
with
lead
the
up to
community.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that most people will then tune off and play the game.
And then that's when we end the stream.
Yeah, and we still don't. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that where we like launch party and then we're ending it there, because I think most people
Yeah.
will then tune out, and
Yeah.
there's nothing for us to say because we still can't talk about the details of the game at that point. And it would be
Yeah, we have to wait
awkward.
wait
Yeah.
a couple of days to let
I'd
everyone
probably
do it.
wait a week to stream
Yeah.
stuff about the spoilers, because the streams are watched by the most passionate fans anyway, so they're gonna play it. And if not, then we should definitely put like a spoiler notice everywhere when we actually do talk about it.
Like, this game is free. Go play it if you own Portal 2, and then come and watch this.
Yeah. I wanted to say something. I forgot what it was.
I want to say about how long this singular map takes to compile.
Yep. Best investment I've made, the CPU. Time saver. Right. For once, I'm actually feeling positive about being able to finish the mod in time, because we've had the release date, the like goal of finishing in December for a long time. But I had a lot of like times where I didn't think that we would be able to do it. Like, but when there are just so many unknowns, like Monty still had to make like 3 important 3D models, and that's out of my control. And the trailer isn't getting finished, and there are these countless bugs in the game engine, and the finale still isn't done, and all of this stuff. But now, I'm actually feeling really positive about being able to finish this game.
Yeah, we've definitely gone out of that development hell, and we're
Yeah.
got the motion back and the steam building.
Yep.
12 minutes of waiting to test one map.
It's also really difficult because nothing is ever truly finished, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you can keep working on maps over and over again, but at some point you just have to say, this is it, this is how it's done, and we just release it. I feel like that's why release dates, we've always set ourselves release date like goals, and even if we didn't hit them, it would have maybe been better in hindsight to have them purely internal. Like, yeah. I feel like, yeah, having that as like a way to stop scope creep, feature creep, is really important. Otherwise, you're never gonna get stuff done.
Yeah.
So many mods are always just to be determined.
Yeah, I was actually just like thinking recently about because I remember that like Abyss exists, and I remember that existing in like 2013 or like 2015. Whenever I was kind of starting to get into the mapping scene, and 10 years later, it's still not out.
Wait, that's been on for since
I remember
2013.
yeah, it's been in development for a long time because they like a couple years ago, I think maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, they switched up the development teams, and they have like an actual development team actually developing it now. But it's been in development for quite a long time.
A lot of that stuff, changing teams, changing hands. That never ends well for a mod. I think. I mean, I don't know how Abyss handles it now, but
Well, they got an actual leader because I don't know whoever was commandeering it before or like directing it before, but I think Paco Master was. But I don't know how much work was actually like, ever getting done. It was one of those mods that you heard about, but you never really saw anything. And then
yeah,
they switched, like they got new team leaders on and stuff, and now you actually see some things being made in it.
they released a first chapter or something for various YouTube channels to do a playthrough.
Yeah, I
And
saw that, but I've never watched that because I was like, there's so few mods that I am truly unspoiled by. That with Abyss, I either want to play it blind, I either want to play it blind or not watch anyone play it.
that one is.
So I still not watched that video.
I did watch it, and I'm not gonna spoil it. It's just that mod is like the first chapter and everything is very story heavy. I didn't see a lot of gameplay stuff. I mean, people call Portal Revolution a story mod, and I never really liked that name because I don't see this mod as a story mod. People I think are gonna be surprised how simple and in the background the story actually is.
I think they're calling it like a story mod more that like it has a story, and there are maps where it's focused more on the story and less on the puzzles. Like if comparing it to Reloaded, for example, that has primarily
Yeah.
puzzles and has no story. Actually has some story, but it's very back burner. It's just
I guess
there.
so. I just don't like calling it story mode because that would imply that it only focuses on the story, which
Yeah, no, it's nothing like Repercussions where it's just pretty map.
it's
map,
just
and no
basically
gameplay.
cinematics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what the first Abyss thing was, also pretty much only cinematics. A little bit of gameplay, but I don't really remember any of it. It didn't have a new element, I think. I wonder whether they're updating that or if it's just that. Because I mean, I think this is something that maybe just applies to me, but I play games for the gameplay, you know. I mean, yeah, in Revo I try to put as much gameplay everywhere as possible, even in places where there is basically just storytelling, to put a little bit of gameplay in there. And there are sections where we definitely want to put a bit more. It's just difficult in Portal doing behind the scenes like puzzles. They're usually very simple. Especially if you have monoportal, it's really hard to make a monoportal BTS puzzle because you have to put the portal somewhere. So it has to realistically, there has to be a portal in the behind the scenes, which doesn't make sense really.
Yeah, I had similar struggles when I was making a little BTS, well, like sort of out of the chamber puzzle for my memorization of Axiom, which is purely a monoportal map. So trying to get the player around the test chambers, outside the test chambers, with one portal gun in gel, a lot harder than it sounds.
I wonder how you pulled that off. I should play that map. It looks really good.
I think what I did was pretty unique. It was like basically the only way I could pull it off. Without awkwardly putting in another perimeter somewhere behind the scenes.
All right, so you sort of perimeter is only in the test chamber.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Just,
yeah. That is how we also sort of do it, right? Where it's just in the, like it's like, this is BTS, and then there's like a test chamber, and we like push panels around, and then there's a portal now here, and like the character helped you or something.
Yeah. If you got time after the stream, I'd like to watch. It'd be fun to watch you play it. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on it.
I think I can do it if I have time. Actually, maybe not because I want to keep my sleep schedule.
Wow.
So I think I have to turn off in like half an hour. Yeah, that has been tough. But even then, behind the scenes puzzles are really difficult. Usually they have to be very simple, because there are a lot of people in community maps, they make behind the scenes puzzles that are pretty much just test chambers that are restyled. So they have like cube droppers and lasers and stuff, and doors and things like that. And to me, that's always felt a bit like for my mod, I didn't want to do that. Because I feel like if you're making a test chamber, then style it like a test chamber. If you're making an environmental behind the scenes puzzle, then make use of behind the scenes elements. And we have we have a few like elements that we use in behind the scenes that are not in the test chambers, right? So it's kind of, we're making use of the idea that behind the scenes has a lot more like industrial sort of puzzle mechanics that don't really make sense as a test element in a test chamber, but it's like an environmental hazard that you have to overcome. Stuff like that works better for behind the scenes. It's just you can't always fit that everywhere. But I think that's fine. It's okay to have a bit of downtime every now and then. There's a section where we have a little bit too much downtime for my liking. I think, yeah. Grand scheme, there's
a section in older Revolution where we had, it was the BTS construction chamber, the two chambers pushed together. Where before we put in the test chamber, like we did the exit. I remember we had just a laser catcher and an indicator line going across a BTS wall, and it was the most out of place, just nonsensical thing that I don't know why we ever had it in the first place.
I had it because I didn't know how else to connect it in a way that looks. I never like when it's just a cable, like a black cable connecting two things, because you can't see those. In one chamber we have like a cable that changes color, blue and orange.
Yeah.
But that's harder to make, and that was even longer ago before I even did that. Yeah, so I just put it there basically as a test, just to play test this thing. And yeah, having the door behind the scenes had so many problems anyway, because people didn't see that this is what the exit was. So yeah. I went through a lot of iterations until I just scrapped the whole BTS thing and just added a little test chamber thing there, so you're actually solving the test chamber and then you exit on the catwalk.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think Anti-Stream is official something. It's an official trailer made by us, random guys on the internet. Valve didn't make this. This was just us. We made this for fun in our spare time. All right, thanks everyone. A million trailer views is incredible. I don't even know what to say. Let's check the stats. Yeah. But I'll pop off now. So thanks all for watching.
Bye everyone.
Till next time. Bye.